Hollywood is in chaos, and it's not just about who's on TV. From Jimmy Kimmel being forced back on air, to Elon Musk calling out Netflix over a controversial kids' show, lines are drawn. Parents, viewers, and even billionaires are clashing over what our children are exposed to, and the stakes have never been higher. Could Disney and Netflix survive this cultural storm, or is the entertainment industry about to face a rebellion it can't control? Stick around, because we're breaking down the drama, the market impact, and why you need to pay attention before it's too late. Hollywood is once again facing turbulence as a wave of actors, writers, and directors reportedly threatened to boycott Disney unless Jimmy Kimmel was brought back on air. Under intense industry pressure, Bob Iger eventually gave in, but his decision has sparked an even larger problem for Hollywood. The real battle now lies within the marketplace, where audiences are beginning to push back. Many viewers have warned that they'll boycott all forms of entertainment if the industry continues promoting content they believe targets children. Leading this growing resistance is Elon Musk, who recently called out Netflix over a controversial animated show that many find deeply disturbing. The backlash has already begun to take effect, with Netflix's stock showing signs of decline. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we unpack the cultural conflicts shaping today's world. What we're witnessing isn't just a media dispute, it's a full-blown ideological standoff within Western society. And right now, it appears that Elon Musk's side has the upper hand. Not long ago, Jimmy Kimmel was temporarily pulled off air after spreading false claims about the individual accused of attacking Charlie Kirk. His set was even cleared out, signaling what seemed like a moment of accountability. But just as quickly, Hollywood insiders intervened, reportedly demanding his reinstatement, proving once again that influence, not integrity, often decides who stays on screen. Hollywood's power play recently came to a head when Bill O'Reilly reportedly told Bob Iger, "Either put Kimmel back on the air, or lose all of our actors, writers, producers, directors, and technical staff." The message was clear. The Hollywood machine had Disney cornered, and Kimmel returned to the airwaves. But the drama didn't end there. Meanwhile, Elon Musk has launched a very public campaign against Netflix, urging parents to cancel their subscriptions for the sake of their children, with Doge designer echoing the call. The criticism centers on a controversial Netflix cartoon packed with identity-focused content, which many are labeling as disgusting Marxist propaganda. At the same time, President Trump is reportedly retaliating against Disney by imposing 100% tariffs on overseas productions, a move that could seriously impact Marvel. The situation has reached an unprecedented scale, with Netflix's stock sliding 2% after Musk announced he was canceling his own subscription. While some may sympathize with Musk's stance, participation in the boycott remains personal. Yet the message is loud and clear. Hollywood, corporate giants, and streaming platforms are facing mounting pressure from both the market and cultural critics alike. Conservatives have circulated screenshots suggesting that Hamish Steele, creator of Netflix's animated show Dead End Paranormal Park, criticized UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer for condemning the assassination of Charlie Kirk, though these claims haven't been independently verified, as Steele's former account is now private. Elon Musk jumped into the fray, urging parents to cancel Netflix for the health of your kids, a move that coincided with a 2.4% drop in Netflix shares, though some downplay the connection. The controversy underscores a broader cultural clash. Everything that went wrong for Disney has been framed as left-leaning backlash, but Musk's involvement shows the conservative pushback can have real market consequences, with his post receiving 474,000 likes. The stakes are high. This isn't just about Netflix. Disney could also be pulled into the crossfire. As the situation escalates into what some are calling a battle royal, questions arise not only about the show itself and its controversial content but also about the creator's history and the broader ideological messages being broadcast to viewers. Netflix now finds itself in another cuties-style controversy with Dead End Paranormal Park, a show that has sparked backlash for pushing content many parents consider inappropriate for children. Although the platform was thought to have learned from past mistakes, this latest situation suggests otherwise. The show is advertised for 7-year-olds and is promoted on Netflix Kids, raising concerns about the messages being presented to very young audiences. Conservative critics, including libs of TikTok, have amplified the issue, arguing that the content crosses a line for children's programming. Viewers are cautioned to be mindful if watching in shared spaces, as some of the material is more risque than typical safe-for-work content. Short clips have circulated, providing a glimpse of the show's style and content without fully revealing it, allowing audiences to understand why it has become the focus of parental and ideological concern. Critics say the controversy surrounding Dead End Paranormal Park has entered even riskier territory. Posts circulating online allege that the show's creator, Hamish Steele, made highly offensive remarks on social media, including an expletive-filled criticism of Charlie Kirk and those offering sympathy after a recent national tragedy. Although these posts have not been independently verified, the fact that they are tied to a series aimed at children on Netflix Kids is fueling outrage. Commentators warn that this is exactly why parents must stay vigilant about what their children watch, even when it's marketed as kid-friendly. Labeling something as safe or educational doesn't guarantee it reflects values parents would want passed on to their children, critics argue, and they see this as part of a larger push to influence young audiences early. With emotions still raw from recent events, Netflix could be facing a major backlash, and potentially enormous losses, if this story gains further traction. Critics argue that shows like Dead End Paranormal Park are attempting to influence young viewers while they are still impressionable, presenting a particular worldview under the guise of entertainment and virtue signaling. The recent offensive remarks allegedly made by creator Hamish Steele about Charlie Kirk have only intensified concerns, highlighting how content that may have flown under the radar can carry a deeper, ideological message aimed at children. Observers point out that the show has been on air for some time, embedding these themes into programming intended for young audiences, particularly around topics like gender identity. While Netflix allows some show-level blocking, Disney Plus lags behind, relying solely on a less transparent rating system, which sometimes labels content inconsistently. For example, deeming Lightyear inappropriate for kids despite its animated format. Critics stress that parents cannot simply assume a show labeled Netflix Kids or for children is safe or value-neutral. Vigilance is required to ensure programming aligns with what they want their children to learn and see. With Netflix, parents at least have the option to block specific shows, and critics strongly recommend doing so if you have children at home. Despite being labeled Netflix Kids, Dead End Paranormal Park arguably belongs in the adult animation category, given its ideological content. Concerns stem from the fact that children, particularly around the age of 7, are forming their worldviews, a process that continues well into early adulthood. When programming pushes specific narratives on identity or other contentious topics, it can fill gaps in a child's understanding, sometimes shaping perspectives in ways parents might not intend. Observers stress the importance of cultivating a community and media environment aligned with one's values, providing children with moral, positive influences they can rely on as they begin to question and explore the world. Without this guidance, critics argue, young viewers risk being swayed by creators and executives whose perspectives may diverge significantly from their parents' intentions. Critics argue that shows like Dead End Paranormal Park sell children a false sense of family and belonging, positioning viewers as outcasts who can find their real home inside the show's community. But, as some point out, a family is a very specific and irreplaceable thing, not a feeling to be manufactured by a media company. They compare it to the Foot Clan's plan in the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, where recruits were lured in with promises of belonging and freedom while being shaped to serve another agenda. Beyond the cultural critique, there's a serious financial risk for Netflix, too. The backlash to Cuties was only the tip of the iceberg, and now critics say Netflix's willingness to host creators with overt ideological opinions that sometimes spill out publicly in inflammatory ways, is starting to reflect directly on the brand. It's the same problem other public figures are facing. Brands become wary of being linked to controversial names, the way some are now questioning working with Ariana Grande after various headlines. Whether fair or not, this kind of association can damage reputations, scare off partners, and alienate paying customers. Exactly the risk Netflix is flirting with by tying itself to creators and content that push hot-button issues onto children. Some observers see figures like Ariana Grande or controversial streaming content as part of a broader trend in outrage marketing, which they believe will eventually lose its impact. One commentator noted their personal streaming habits. After canceling Netflix following Cuties, they only returned for brief free trials to check out shows of interest. By the end of the month, they were done with streaming services entirely, with the exception of YouTube, which continues to dominate. Recent data from August confirms this trend. YouTube's growth is accelerating past both Netflix and Amazon Prime, highlighting a significant shift in where audiences choose to spend their attention. This serves as a cautionary tale for Netflix. While it may still outperform competitors in some areas, the platform's content choices, particularly those that provoke ideological backlash or target children with controversial themes, could threaten its standing in an increasingly competitive and volatile media landscape. When it comes to TV watch time, YouTube is now dominating, surpassing Netflix and even Disney on their own platforms. Just looking at YouTube on TV alone, it commands 13.1% of watch time, compared to 8.7% for Netflix and 9.7% for Disney. Unlike Netflix or Disney, YouTube doesn't pay creators for the content. The creators produce it for free, yet YouTube reaps the benefits. Historically, Disney led in this space, with Netflix as a strong contender, but YouTube's explosive growth has upended the traditional hierarchy. For Netflix, this shift is a stark reminder that missteps like cuties or other controversial content can have serious consequences, both culturally and financially. Analysts argue the platform needs to steer clear of ideological controversies, as such incidents previously damaged its subscriber base. As YouTube accelerates past competitors, Netflix may have to rethink its strategy and content choices to avoid alienating viewers and losing ground in the streaming wars. Some critics argue that Netflix seems to operate in factions, almost as if there are multiple companies working under a single banner. On one hand, one division appears to focus on producing high-quality, critically acclaimed content that earns awards, garners attention at film festivals, and appeals to a wide and often sophisticated audience. These are the projects that often receive glowing reviews and are marketed as prestige content, designed to cement Netflix's reputation as a serious player in the entertainment industry. On the other hand, another division seems to prioritize projects that are far more controversial or ideologically charged. A notable example of this trend is the film Black Cleopatra, which sparked significant debate across social media platforms and in various news outlets. While some hail such content as bold, thought-provoking, and culturally significant, others argue that it pushes a particular agenda too aggressively, sometimes alienating viewers who may not share the same perspective or who are simply looking for neutral entertainment. This duality in programming can create a sense of unpredictability for subscribers, making it challenging to understand what Netflix truly represents. For parents, the situation can be even more complicated. The broad array of content, ranging from family-friendly animated series to films that explore adult themes, controversial historical interpretations, or provocative social commentary, means that careful monitoring is necessary to ensure that children are not exposed to material that is inappropriate for their age. Many child development experts and educators recommend that social media and streaming platforms be avoided by children until they reach a level of maturity capable of distinguishing fiction from reality, understanding nuanced arguments, and processing sensitive topics responsibly. The concern is not only about exposure to potentially disturbing content but also about the subtle ways in which ideological messaging can shape young minds, often before they have developed critical thinking skills. Beyond the challenges of content management, there is a growing conversation about how Netflix's strategy may impact its market position. The streaming landscape is highly competitive, with platforms like YouTube, Disney+, Amazon Prime, and HBO Max vying for viewers' attention. YouTube, in particular, has maintained its dominance by offering an endless stream of short-form and long-form content that is immediately accessible, highly personalized through algorithmic recommendations, and often free of charge. In contrast, Netflix, which relies primarily on subscription revenue, faces the added challenge of ensuring that its content appeals to a broad audience. If certain projects alienate even a segment of its subscribers, it risks losing loyalty and potentially seeing a decline in subscription numbers. The consensus among analysts is clear. For Netflix to maintain and grow its user base, it must strike a careful balance between artistic ambition and audience sensibilities. Eliminating content that consistently provokes controversy or causes subscribers to disengage could be a strategic move to preserve its standing in the highly competitive streaming market. At the same time, engagement with audiences remains a crucial factor in sustaining Netflix's success. As discussions about the platform's content proliferate on social media, viewers are encouraged to actively participate, not just passively consume. Whether it's through liking, sharing, subscribing to official channels, hitting the notification bell for updates, or leaving thoughtful comments, audience engagement helps shape the ongoing dialogue around Netflix's projects. By inviting viewers to voice their opinions, the platform not only fosters a sense of community but also gains valuable insights into what resonates and what may need rethinking. For those seeking a deeper level of access and additional perks, membership options provide exclusive content, behind-the-scenes footage, early releases, and other premium offerings for a small monthly fee, further incentivizing loyal subscribers to remain engaged. Ultimately, the conversation about Netflix is not just about individual projects or corporate strategy. It is also about the broader role of streaming platforms in modern media consumption. Audiences are reminded that critical engagement, actively thinking about, discussing, and analyzing the content they watch, is just as important as the entertainment itself. Keeping an open mind, questioning narratives, and understanding diverse perspectives allows viewers to be more informed and more empowered in their choices. In the meantime, viewers have to maintain a balance, creating quality content while remaining mindful of their personal preferences and boundaries. As discussions continue and the streaming landscape evolves, the key takeaway is clear: keep learning, keep growing, and, most importantly, keep having fun. In conclusion, Netflix finds itself navigating a complex terrain. On one side, it produces award-winning, critically acclaimed content that solidifies its reputation as a serious entertainment provider. On the other, it releases controversial, ideologically charged projects that spark debate and occasionally controversy, such as Black Cleopatra. For parents, this dual approach requires vigilance, especially in guiding younger audiences. For subscribers, it raises questions about brand identity, audience loyalty, and market positioning. With competitors like YouTube continuing to expand and dominate, Netflix faces the pressing need to carefully curate its content and engage audiences meaningfully. Encouraging viewers to like, comment, share, and subscribe, while offering membership perks, helps maintain a strong, active, and loyal user base. Through thoughtful engagement and ongoing discussion, audiences are reminded of the importance of critical consumption, intellectual curiosity, and the joy of entertainment. No matter what changes occur within Netflix or the streaming industry at large, the core message remains consistent. Stay informed, stay engaged, and most importantly, enjoy the experience. Tired of listening to music from people or companies who don't share your values? Vacation Radio has you covered. Created by the team behind the WDW Pro channel, it's your go-to destination for fresh, diverse music across every genre you can imagine. Tune in live on YouTube for a set list that's always bright, cheerful, and guaranteed to put you in a vacation mindset. Every WDW Pro video includes a link to Vacation Radio in the description, so you can try it out and subscribe today. And enjoy music that's made for you, by people who get it.